time of year is quite unique. This is the 38th day in a
US President Joe Biden appeared virtually at a White House meeting of economic advisors on Friday to highlight his good health a day after testing positive for COVID-19.
This time of year is quite
Speaking remotely at the meeting to discuss White House efforts to lower gas prices, Biden appeared vigorous and in good spirits, but with a noticeably deeper voice, hours after his doctor released a statement saying his symptoms had improved.
Well, thanks. Let me start by apologizing for my voice. I'm feeling much better than I sound.
A letter released from the White House physician said Biden reached 99.4 Fahrenheit on Thursday night, but he responded favorably to Tylenol and was breathing normally.
President Biden completed his first full day of Paxlovid last night. His symptoms have improved. He did mount a temperature yesterday evening to 99.4 degrees Fahrenheit, which responded favorably to Tylenol. His temperature has remained normal since then. His symptoms remain characterized as runny nose and fatigue, with an occasional non-productive, now loose cough. His voice is deeper this morning. His pulse, blood pressure, respiratory rate, and oxygen saturation remain entirely normal on room air. The president is tolerating treatment well. We will continue Paxlovid as planned. His symptoms will be treated supportively with oral hydration, Tylenol, and albuterol inhaler that he uses as needed. His Eliquis and Crestor are being held during Paxlovid treatment and for several days after his last dose. During this time, it is reasonable to add low-dose aspirin as an alternative type of blood thinner.
At the Friday afternoon briefing, White House COVID-19 coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha stressed that the 99.4 Fahrenheit reading was the highest Biden had experienced during his illness.
But the president has had no fevers. 99.4 is the highest temperature the president's had so far.
Jha noted that Biden's vitals had remained in the normal range, but admitted the president had used an inhaler a couple of times since testing positive.
All of his vitals, including his temperature, I would argue, but all of his vitals have always been in the normal range. His heart rate, his blood pressure, his oxygen level, and his temperature. The 99.4 was the highest temperature he's had in the last, 24 hours, but I would say since his diagnosis. But he's had normal vital signs throughout the entire course of the disease. What I understand is that he has used it a couple of times in the last, since testing positive. He's got, as you may have heard, he's got a cough. And I mentioned this yesterday, it's in the Dr. O'Connor's note. Oftentimes when people get viral syndromes and they get a cough, taking an inhaler can be helpful. So the president, his last time he used it before this illness was when he had a cold, I think last fall at some point. During that cold, he also had a little bit of cough that comes with viral syndromes and used it. So he does not use it on a regular basis.
Overall, Jha said Biden was doing better, noting that he had slept well and ate his breakfast and lunch.
Dr. O'Connor has been seeing him on a regular basis. I think I don't have an exact number of times that he saw him yesterday or today, but multiple times a day, either by phone call, by Zoom, physically examining him.
The White House's medical unit has identified and informed 7 close contacts of Biden's, including senior staff, and said so far none of the staff had tested positive.
So the White House Medical Unit has identified and informed 17 people determined to be close contacts of the president, including members of his senior staff. None of the staff members have tested positive to date, and all of them are wearing masks around other people per CDC guidelines.
Biden, 79, tested positive for COVID on Thursday, when the White House said he was experiencing mild symptoms and would continue working but in isolation. His diagnosis comes as a highly contagious subvariant of the coronavirus drives a new wave of cases in the United States.